name is Frank Doyle. I'm coming from the Technical University of the Shannon, which is the Limerick campus based in Ireland. And I am part of, I'm a researcher in the ACORN Research Centre, and we also have a Digital Innovation Hub, IS4PROD, which is part of that research centre. The Change2Twin assessment that we carried out was with 2 SMEs, so Total Precision is the one we're looking at here today, and they're a precision engineering company based in the southeast of Ireland, about 150 kilometres away from where we're based. So so just briefly, the ACORN Research Centre has been established since around 2004, based on the development of smart sustainable factories in the area of Industry 4.0. So there's quite a bit of expertise has been built up in the area of data monitoring, analytics, automation, sustainable manufacturing, and looking in particular energy efficiency and production. There have been approximately 120 research projects with various industries, particularly manufacturing, and around 90 of these with SMEs. So there's a strong focus and a strong connection between the research centre and SMEs in the region, in particular with manufacturing SMEs. And I also have to, so the Digital Innovation Hub, IS4PROD, the goal of it is to really be an interface between SMEs in the region and state agencies and service providers to enable and facilitate the digitalization of production facilities in manufacturing in the area. Now, I have to bring into the story the IDEAM industry cluster. So this is the Irish Digital Engineering and Advanced Manufacturing Cluster, which was established towards the end of 2020. And it was set up with the aim of bringing manufacturing and SMEs together in a cluster with the aim of industries learning from each other and progressing in their path of digital transformation and Industry 4.0. The IDEAM industry cluster was what brought a lot of our applications into the Change2Twin system. And it was through IDEAM that Total Precision, which was the SME that we're looking at, came into the Change2Twin environment. Now, at the start here, this presentation was meant to be presented in part by the operations manager of Total Precision, but he couldn't make it today. So I'm carrying out his side as well. The company itself is a precision engineering company, which is based in the south of the country, in Waterford. It's got 10 employees, a turnover in the region of 1.2 million in 2020. And there is, so the production process has been very paper-based. They do have electronic management of finances and ordering, but from the production side of things, there's very little to no digitalization initially. So quite a good, successful company from a business point of view, but not very forward with the digitalization side of things. The assessment process then, I suppose from the digital hub point of view, it began with the mentoring and the training workshops, which were given out by Change2Twin. And then there were initial meetings using Microsoft Teams, so remote meetings with the company because of COVID and the distance involved, just to get to know the organization, to introduce the Compass tool and the process that we will be going through to understand digitalization assessment that was going to be done, the identification of the relevant KPIs that were important in their process and for their success, And then after several initial online meetings, getting the management there to work through the data that was required, questions arose, which then we were able at the Digital Innovation Hub side to interact with our mentor. And that added quite a lot of value to the process for us. Then, so we needed to gain a better understanding of their manufacturing process, how customer and regulatory requirements impacted their business, and to see where would digitalization add the most value to their production system. Then there followed a series of site visits with production and operations managers to really get to the low level of the data required for the assessment process and really fine-tuning the knowledge of what they needed, as well as the formulation of a recipe for the digital twin, the proposed digital twins, and looking to see what would best suit them. What helped them a lot was where we presented case studies of previous digitalization projects which we had run. It really brought home to them. They were aware of the value of digitalization, but similar to what we have seen with energy efficiency projects in the past, companies know that it's of value, but they're slow to jump into it themselves until they see others having done it. So when we could show the value of eliminating several paper-based eliminating the paper-based steps towards production improvement, they really jumped on board and said that they wanted this and they wanted more of it. So yes, there were several meetings required, traveling to the site, and after that, in the actual write-up, there was several remote online meetings as well. So then just looking briefly at the dashboard from the Compass tool, we see that their initial digitalization level was quite low. Really, they were less than 1, and that itself was just based on the financial management tools that they were using and order processing. So they had a vision for having less paper operations and moving to a level of 3 of digitalization through the capture of data from machines, capturing machine status, alerting when machines would go out of operations, and to get predictive knowledge of the state of their production system. Okay, so lessons learned from the assessments from the Digital Innovation Hub side. It really helped that we carried out multiple assessments at the same time, because we were asking similar questions to the SMEs from the Compass tool, but at different times from different perspectives, but it allowed us to get better value. So when we had a challenge with one SME, when that question was answered by the mentor, we were able to provide better value to the other SME that way. It was quite intense. There was a lot of information that we needed to sift through to get to what was important. And there was a lot more time at the end in the write-up of it than was anticipated initially. Regular teams, online teams meeting with the mentor and emails for clarification of how the Compass tool worked and the digital twin readiness assessment, what that was meant to achieve, was very important and useful. It added a lot of value to be able to do that. And we found that that was a very useful tool in the work. So then just looking from here onwards, was intended to have been presented by Niall Brennan, the operations manager from Total Precision. So I'm stepping in for him here. From their perspective, they had an understanding that digitalization was going to be really important for them, but they didn't know where to start. So having gone through the maturity assessment, they got clarity on how to proceed in a way that will allow them to build for the future. So initially capturing data from all these machines and getting through the knowledge that they learn, they know where to build on that for the future. Okay, so the company had an awareness of how digitalization could be useful for them, but didn't know where to start. The business processes were paper-based with little to no digitalization of the systems, and the motivation for participation in the process came through membership of the IDM cluster, where they learned about the voucher. The opportunity then to engage with the Digital Innovation Hub allowed them to get started. So from there, they managed to learn how to focus on what processes would bring the most value through implementation of a project. And this was always of top priority for them. So it was quite clear at the beginning that they were at a very low level of digitalization. They'd been using Excel charts as their ERP system. The case studies helped them to learn what would be a benefit for them and where to start. And now they've started, they have networked machine equipment, production equipment. They have status of machines being fed into an ERP system, and dashboards are built and available throughout the site. So, which gives them a greater level of knowledge when it comes to KPIs like OEE, and improves scheduling of, from production planning point of view, improves scheduling of customer orders, which gives direct financial benefits. The digital twin that was looked at was looking at predictive maintenance. So there is a value, they can see a strong value on monitoring things like spindle speed and temperatures of certain aspects of production on certain machines, and being able to predict when they need to do maintenance to prevent outages. And so the company aims to continue the path of digitalization through regular assessments of the best value to be gained at each step. So they're looking not just to stick in another digitalization project for the sake of it, but always, which I think was the point of the Change2Twin Compass tool, to look at the why. What's the value behind a project, and to work with that. So that's me for now. Thank you.